Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Daily Blend. If we sound a little different, that's because we are on site today and we are here with David Johnson, who is the owner of Broadway Diner, and Barbra Horrell, who everybody knows around Columbia.
Everybody loves.
Everybody knows and loves. Barbra is definitely a local historian. You have all the pieces of Columbia, I feel like, inside of you. And that's partly why we're here today. I heard a really wonderful story about how you guys became friends and what this diner, the part this diner plays. And I'd just like for you guys to share that with our listeners.
Oh, Adonica, thank you so much for this forum. Thank you, Barbra, for being here today. I love it anytime we get to be together.
I just wave at him when I go by.
She
I love
does.
it.
She does. Year and a half ago, I started talking with my friends at Children's Grove about the possibility of collaboration with Children's Grove and their outreach for kindness through art. And I realized I have all these walls that could be community art. And so my friend Joyce took it back to her board, and Barbra is part of that organization. And she had some real reservations, undoubtedly so, about the history of this place and how it fit into the history of Columbia. And the history of this place isn't always about kindness. But Joyce and the rest of the board encouraged us to get together and get to know each other. And I think you should take it from here, friend.
Well, we were at a board meeting and they were speaking about getting together to walk the city. And they said, oh, we'll meet at the diner and have lunch. And I said, no, I can't go. And they looked at me quite like, what's the problem? The timing? And I said, no, maybe yes, the timing. I said, I've never been in the diner. And they said, you've never, ever? No. At my age, no, I have never been in the diner. I've passed it, I've walked past it, but I've never been in the diner. And they said, oh, you'll really like the guy that run. I said, I don't know anybody that's there, but I've never been in the diner. They said, well, try it. So that's how we came down, had a good lunch, talked. Dave's wonderful, he smiles. He was all that I had not seen in with the history of the diner. And the history of the diner goes back past in the 50s when we were in high school. And we would come from basketball games and football games and everything, and we were hungry, because all of the mom and pop stores along by the school were closed. And everybody would say, well, let's go to Minute Inn. And we, not knowing, we popped to the Minute Inn, and the guy would say, you can order here, but you have to step out of the way. And your food's gonna come, and you're gonna pay for it at that window. And so from that, our teachers and our principals and the people at church said, I don't want to catch any of you there. Stay away from the diner. That is not a place for you. And so historically, that's the reason I never got to the diner. Wasn't because of Dave, because he wasn't here. It was history.
It was history.
It was history. Mm-hmm. The 50s were not good for Columbia, and urban renewal and all of that happened.
Yeah.
So that's the reason me and Dave are now friends.
Yeah. And Dave, when you heard that, for you, and I mean, I know who you are, but when you heard that, how did that make you feel?
The ugly part of the history of this building is not new to me. And it's an embarrassment, and it's a scar that the building has for all these ugly memories. But I believe we can't ignore them. We have to acknowledge what they were and the time that they were, and then we have to forge friendships and find commonality and resolve to go forward. And I'm so thankful for that commitment that we have.
And he committed himself when they were coming in the door. I was kind of sitting in the parking lot, and I'm like, I'm really going to be an enemy to my people because we've never done this, okay? So when we came in the door, and I'm like, okay, and I did. I got the strangest feeling. It's like you're slipping into something you shouldn't be into. Mm-hmm. And there was Dave. Come on in. Hi, I'm Dave. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is not as bad as that. I guess I thought the big bad wolf was going to be still here.
Yeah.
And there was Dave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what Joyce said. She said, you'll just love him. And I said, okay. Mm-hmm. That was my whole thought at the meetings. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you say so.
Yep.
And then here comes Dave. Okay.
And you do love him.
Yeah, I do. Who else comes when he's watering his plants outside, drives by, stops, and gets out and harasses him? Me.
I was out watering my garden last summer, and I couldn't see. The sun was in my eyes, but Barbara kept hollering at me. I thought, who is this? So I finally put down the hose and went and talked, and I was so happy.
There we are.
Yeah.
We're friends.
Yeah.
That's what you do with your friends.
That is exactly what you do with your friends. And you bake them pie?
I do.
He makes pie.
You bake them pie?
And he makes pie.
Which I understand, you know, you make her a special butterscotch pie.
I did.
She's clapping about that. She's happy. She gets to take that home with her.
Kid, yes.
Yes, you're like a kid in a pie shop.
You got that right.
You're like a kid in a pie shop.
First time in, and get my pie and gone. I'm happy.
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. Well,
no, but very seriously, it has been a good relationship, Dave. It has. It really has.
Well,
to see him anywhere, you know, I throw my hand, that's Dave. And I'm like, how do you know him?
Well, I love it. Thank you both for sharing this with Columbia more broadly. I appreciate it. I appreciate who you are. I appreciate who you are. Love you both. This has been fantastic for our viewers and our listeners to get a little glimpse inside. And I hope you all will come into Broadway Diner and you'll maybe catch Miss Barbara one day and you'll get a chance to get some of Dave's pie.
Helping Dave, greeting at the door.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Greet him at the door. Thank you both, and we'll catch you all next time.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Barbara.
You too.